Hey guys, I've just got this cool comfy setup. I've put the lounge here, so now it's really hard to sort of get away from the computer because I've got my lounge set up like this and I can get really relaxed and just like have the keyboard like this and just mess about. But then I have to sit up and type, so that's a sit upright. So that's exercise winning. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of update about what I've been up to. I've got some concrete plans, which are good. I've always had aspirations and goals, but it's just the bits in between that enable me to achieve those goals. I need to have them in place, which I now believe that I do. Because I've got goals, but I need to have goals in between those goals, if that makes sense, smaller goals in order to achieve the other goals. So goals in the middle. I've now got those in place that will enable me to achieve the other goals. Stepping stones. So what I'm doing now, I've always got these ideas in my head, but these are actually ideas that I can achieve, and I believe I can achieve anything. I'm not cocky, I'm an optimistic person, and I believe anyone can achieve anything they want, but they need to sort of know what to do, and I believe that I now know what to do, and I've got some direction. I'm still in the middle of I've graduated, got a Bachelor of Communications, now doing my graduate certificate in Communications. I've got plans to next year move to Japan, so I've been applying for the JET program, and I also, as a backup, want to get into Altia because apparently that's the second best assistant language teaching program in Japan. That's the next one to be in, is Altia. I've heard, bad things about Interact, so I'm sort of staying away from that. I've already applied for that and they've not approved me for that one. So that's a very last resort if I try for all of them, just to get into Japan and to get stable, for them to find me a place. Any program will do just to get into Japan, and then you can then apply to other companies and for jobs while you're over there in Japan, because for assistant language teachers they prefer you to be in your home country when you apply, but once you're over there you're free to, you've got your working visa, you've got a place to live. You can then, if you're not happy with that place to live, you can always move around. There's ways to do things. You can then move, you can apply to other jobs, because for the other positions that is within your niche, those companies prefer you to already be in Japan. If they're going to employ expats, they want them to already be in Japan. So applying for assistant learning teacher position will get you over to Japan, and from there you can apply for other positions. But I'm happy to stay to be an assistant learning teacher for however long. I don't have any sort of plans to move from there, unless of course I'm with like Interact and I'm not very happy. I'll leave there and go and apply for a position within media and communications and marketing. Or it'd be cool if I could get into like anime or something like that, within media and communications. Anything that's creative, I'll be happy doing, as long as I'm creating anything, or I'm teaching, if I'm doing something in language, speaking, writing, creating, using my imagination, within that area, that's where I thrive, and that's my area of genius. So if I'm doing anything, creating anything, speaking, doing any of that, I'll be happy. okay, and I think I'll be happy teaching English, because it'll be awesome, like teaching little kids how to speak English, or adults, and just the experience itself. It's going to be awesome living in Japan, and it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for Starla to spend some time in Japan. I think it'll be good for my learning, because of the Japanese work ethic and their manners, of high caliber, and they're such lovely people. It will be very influential on myself and Starla, and will raise our manner and etiquette level. So it'll make us better people. Starla's already a beautiful human being. She has really good manners, but there's always room for improvement. So she steals toast from, the only really bad thing she does is she steals toast from her grandmother when her grandmother's eating toast, her nana. Stella will always pinch toast off her plate, which is not good manners. So that's the only really negative thing that she does, which is fantastic. She's a good kid. So being in Japan will stop her doing that. So stop saying yeah, their etiquette and their work ethic will rub off on us. It will be such a fantastic opportunity, and we'll both learn Japanese, and I just have really high expectations, and it's such a beautiful country, and I'll just love being in the nature and relaxing. There's a specific area that I want to move to. I've been inspired by Chris Broad's channel, Abroad in Japan. I've been highly motivated from that, and also Dave Trippin's channel, Dave Trippin, on YouTube. I've been inspired by that channel highly. Those two are the best, I believe. There's also Aussie Awesome. I really like his channel. I really like his little skits in between. I'm really inspired by that, and I've got some ideas for my own channel that I want to do, because I don't believe that market is flooded. There seems to be a lot of Japanese expat, or Gaijin as they call it, channels, but there are no Aussies. There don't seem to be, haven't come across any Aussies, and especially from the view of a single mother and child living in Japan. It's a very unique situation. So that stays within the lines of the Independent Mum Success Club. I'll be blogging about our experiences as a single mum and child, Australian mum and child, our experience living in Japan, because it's a lot of people aren't brave enough to do that, I think, and that's not blowing wind up my own whatever. I just believe it's not a very, and other people sort of see it as it's very brave. People view even just having children, even if you're in a relationship and you have a family and you have children, there are people that believe that, you have children, you can't travel and whatever, it's going to be expensive, and there's ways around everything. There's solutions to problems, solutions to challenges all the time. There's nothing that a human being can't achieve. The impossible is achieved every day. So don't let anything hold you back. And I've always believed that, and and myself and Starla, we've done 8 months living in Canada. And this was when my daughter was 3. I never really been out of the country much before. I went to New Caledonia and Noumea on a P&O cruise ship when I was single and young. And that's sort of the only time I had been out of Australia before that. And then when Starla was 3, I was in her father died in 2010, or 2008, sorry. And then about 2010, I had broken up with a boyfriend. So I'd gone through a rough, couple of years, and once before, it was before I hit the 30 year mark. Before you turn 30, you have to use your visa. I had already applied for a visa beforehand when I broke up with that boyfriend from that year. I had applied for a working visa to go to Canada that same year, 2010. Then we got back together, and then I moved for him, which is silly, but there are no mistakes in life, only experiences to learn from. I broke up with him again, and I thought, okay, that's it. I'm using my working visa now before I turn 30. It's now or never. So I up and moved with my then 3-year-old daughter, Starla, and moved to Canada and lived there for 8 months. So, I was brave enough to do that. And so I think we'll be fine living in Japan. We're currently learning the Japanese language, so that will help. But I think we'll be fine, and our Japanese only going to improve more once we're over there, and we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine, and we'll have the best experience ever. It's going to be an amazing experience for both of us. So that's what I'd like to do next year. So currently doing a graduate certificate in communications. Hoping to do a master's, try and get that out of the way because it takes, for the application process for the assistant learning teacher application, typically takes about 12 months to be approved for that. It may take less. And that's fine, because that enables me to finish a master's degree and save some money up for plane tickets and a month's rent straight up, because when you're in Japan, you have to pay a month's. Their rent system is different. Here in Australia it is a week at a time. I pay 2 weeks at a time, so I know that rent's covered for 2 weeks. I think it's in Canada it was monthly, and also in Japan it is monthly. So you have to pay for a month's rent up front, and you won't get paid from your job for a month also. So you need a month's rent up front to be able to survive without pay for a month. So, and pay for a plane ticket and be able to eat and, maybe travel around on the weekends. So, and whatever. So you need a little bit of money to be ahead for the month. So that's fine. A year I can save up. So that brings me to the next thing, which is my living situation. I'm currently living in Magnetic Island, Queensland. It's been fun. It's been really relaxing. It's a beautiful part of Queensland, and there's a couple of things we didn't get to do, like horse riding on the beach. That's been a goal, and snorkeling, and hiring a car and going to the bay areas that we haven't been to. But we've been going to the local beach here, and that is just a few steps, down the road from me. But we're kind of a little bit bored with that, and my daughter wants to leave. I kind of want to leave. I'm getting a bit bored, so it's time. Time is right. I've been here about a year and 3 months. Be 3 year and 3 months in September. So that's it's feeling like time to go. So I've applied for a unit in Port Douglas, which it is necessary because I found that paying the rent here, it's $250 a week where I am for a 2-bedroom. And on top of that, the electricity is killing me. The rent is fine. I'm fine paying the rent. It's the electricity. The electricity price is ridiculous. So I need, a place that is a little bit cheaper, as well as the electricity being included, in order to save money for Japan. So moving to Port Douglas is going to be great, especially into the unit that I've applied for, because the rent is only $200 a week and the electricity is included, and it's in like a great area. It's like right near the beach in Port Douglas, so it's only a few steps away, and also on the corner of one of the best restaurants in Port Douglas, which is going to be great because we can just walk down, right next door actually. I shouldn't say where I'm going to be living, but it is right next door to the best, I haven't said specifically where it is, the best restaurant in Port Douglas. So it's going to be great. We're just a few steps away and we can have a bite to eat. Which is sometimes I order shopping now from Woolworths to get it delivered, or Coles, and sometimes when the food runs out, and when my pay comes in, it's usually before the food gets delivered, I have to go eat out or either walk to the nearest IGA and get some food, but the IGA is really crap here. I'm not really impressed with the IGA. So we usually, and because there's a place to eat just down the road from us, we usually eat out, but we're getting bored with eating there, and we want high quality food. So I'm a bit posh when it comes to food, because I grew up in the Wet Sundays, which is, they hire the best chefs. It's usually 5-star quality food. I also lived at Hamilton Island, and they only hire the very best chefs everywhere you go, and it's not like particular places are good to eat. It's every single place on that island is good to eat, regardless of what star it is. If it's a 3-star resort, 4.5-star resort, doesn't matter. Every single place, even the bakery, is like of high quality. The cafes, the food is the highest quality. So I've grown up, and I've spent a lot of years living on Hamilton Island, and that's where I met Stella's father, and that's where we lived when she was young, and I worked there for probably 6 years. So I've grown up used, and this was in like my 20s, so I'm gotten used to eating that high quality food. And growing up in Airlie Beach as well, everywhere you eat is of the highest quality because they only hire the best chefs, because it is a touristy town, and it's in the Wet Sundays near the Great Barrier Reef. The food is of the highest quality, and the same can be said for Port Douglas. It's known as having the best food, so it's gonna be great. So yeah, I've gotten a bit disappointed with the food on the island and the places to eat, but I haven't been everywhere. But there's a few places, there's just the name, you can tell by the name and what they serve. If it's like a hybrid of different foods they eat, that gives me, there's a restaurant that's I don't want to mention the restaurant name, but even the name itself tells you that they're confused, so that the restaurant is confused with who they are and what they specialise in, because they specialise in everything, every single culture of food. So I think a restaurant, and even Gordon Ramsay says the same thing, a restaurant should specialise in a particular food, have a set menu, make those meals the very best, and just focus on those meals and don't try and do everything, because they're going to be as the saying goes, the jack of all trades and a master of none. And it's funny that their name sort of represents that saying. So that's really ironic that they know that themselves. The name sort of represents the fact that they're a mixture of everything. So, yeah. It's that concept just puts me off even going there. And there's a couple of places where there was a place where we went in, and I only wanted to order the kids' meal, and they just made a big, I don't get embarrassed easily, but because the waiter called out to the owner of the restaurant, or the chef, and said, oh, the customer wants, it made a big fuss about it in front of me and other people. I was up at the counter ordering, which in itself is crap because it was a restaurant. They should have come and taken my order. But I went up to the counter and they even said, oh, you got to come up to the counter, which is fine, but in a particular type of place. But this was a restaurant and they were advertising as a restaurant, so it was a small restaurant, so they could have come and taken my order and it would have been a little bit more private. But I went up to the counter anyway and just said, oh, I want to order this kids meal because I didn't have a lot of money on me, but my daughter and myself wanted to eat out. We happened to be in that area at the time, so we just wanted something cheap. So I just said, I want a kids meal for my daughter, and I ordered a kids meal for me. And then the waiter made a big fuss about it and in front of me and said, oh, so the customer wants to order a kids meal. Like, you know, what, we can't do that, can we? And well, you know, it's like, no, like, can't do that. And just, they weren't very discreet about it, and just the fact that they were having that conversation, even, like, I just thought the customer is right, why can't I just order what I want? And I can understand the concept of them not wanting people walking past and seeing that I'm eating a kid's meal and thinking that's what they serve to adults. But I can see that. They never said that, but I can understand that's their reasoning. And they didn't even explain that to me, but I just know that that's the reason why it's the only reason why they could possibly say no to that. But, you know, on the other hand, don't embarrass, like, that's an embarrassing situation. I don't get embarrassed easily, but they could potentially be embarrassing for the customer and for the other customers watching that. And it's like an uncomfortable situation. Like, it could have been a bit more discreet, or just know the rules already, not have to ask and make a big fuss about it. Just, I don't know. They could have handled that situation a bit better. So that put me off going back to that place. So what happened was, you know what happened? I didn't order anything. He didn't let me order the kids' meal, so I just ordered one kids' meal for my daughter. And I sat there and just watched her eat. So, because I was annoyed and I only wanted to order a kid's meal, and I only had that much money on me. So, you know, and that just put me off going back. So I thought, bugger it, I'm not going back. Excuse me. And, you know, for what the meals were, they were pretty expensive for what they were, and they were better in that genre of food. I don't want to give away where it is. Within that genre of food, though, there are other restaurants on the mainland or elsewhere that serve better food and for less money in that genre. So, yeah, I just didn't want to go back. But there is a place called the Airlie Bird that I like to check out, because they serve, I'm really into, like, I want to eat healthy food that is reasonably priced and that is good quality and delicious. That is exciting food to eat. So I want to go over to Horseshoe Bay and check out the Airlie Bird. And they've had a really good food critic that's well known from a show called MasterChef. Apparently they've had like a quote from him saying how good a specific meal that they make is there. So I want to order that. It's a salad. And there's a few other meals that they've got on their Facebook page that just look amazing, and all the comments just say really good things about them. So I want to go check that out, and it's in a really good spot right near the beach in Horseshoe Bay. So the Airlie Bird Cafe, I want to check that out before we go. But the regular place that we go to that's near our unit in our area, we go there a lot, and we've tried. There's only a few meals that we want there, that we want to eat. We've eaten them before many times, and we're sort of, you can get a bit sick of eating the same thing all the time. So yeah, I think it's time to go, like, because of the food aspect. That's one of the reasons we want to eat better food and different food. So that's one reason. And the other reason is we will save money by moving into the cheaper unit with the free electricity, included electricity. And the fact that we're going to a new place is exciting. New place, new experiences. It'll feel more exciting. We'll feel rejuvenated, and and we'll actually have money to be able to explore and do fun things because of the savings. So we want to explore the Daintree rainforest, do zip lining there. We want to go to Cape Tribulation Beach. We want to go to a place called mind blank. It is 12:30 a.m. What's that place called? Paranella Park. I can get a bus back to Cairns, and then you can get a day trip from Cairns and go to Paranella Park and come down south. There's Paranella Park. There's Mossman Gorge. You want to go check out Mossman Gorge up near Daintree and Cape Tribulation, near Port Douglas. And there's a few other places that the day trip goes to when you go to Paranella Park. I'm going to check out those places. There's also a cocoa farm we want to check out near Mission Beach. So when we sort of come back down, I'd like to go and check out Mission Beach, and then check out the chocolate farm, which is the healthiest chocolate. That will be the only chocolate I'll allow Stella to eat, really, because we do eat really healthy. So yeah, and this is like high quality pure cocoa beans grown on the farm, made into chocolate. It'll be the healthiest chocolate you'll ever eat. So in Australia. So yeah, I'll check that out. And that'll be fun and educational for Starla. So for those reasons, it's good for us to move to Port Douglas. It's a beautiful part of and it'll be a longer beach. And one of the goals I had moving up here was before I moved up to Magnetic Island from the Sunshine Coast. The Sunshine Coast in Mooloolaba and Maroochydore has a really beautiful long beach that I still love walking along and running along, and it's like firm sand, and just the feeling you get when you're running on the beach, there's just nothing like this feeling. It just makes me feel really good, and it's good exercise, and it's just good to see happy smiling faces and the sun and the blue water and the blue sky, and it just makes you feel really good. So my goal was, when I moved into our own unit out of my parents' place in the Sunshine Coast, because when I got back from Canada, I moved into Mum and Dad's, and I've been there studying, and then when I got close to finishing my bachelor and graduating, before I had my graduation ceremony, I moved out from Mum and Dad's, and my goal when I moved into a unit was that I get to walk on the beach every day and just get to be on the beach every day. We do have a beach here near us now, but it's a little beach, and the sand's really soft, so you can't really run along it. There's two beaches near us. There's a longer beach and a little cove sort of beach. So and the sand's just so soft that it's fun to swim in and dip in, especially because there's no waves. Sometimes there are waves, but I love it when there's no wind and there's no waves, so it's good for a swim. It's crystal clear water and no waves like splashing up, like rocking you. I just love relaxing and having no waves, which is great. But so good for swimming, but not good for walking on and going for runs on, because it's so you just dig into the sand. But the beach, my point being, was the beach at the Sunshine Coast was good for running and walking on because it was firm sand, and it was a long, I've got a really dry voice. It was a long beach, and Port Douglas has a 7-mile beach, so it's a really long beach, and the sand is so firm that you can ride bikes on it. You can actually rent bikes, and people actually ride bikes along the beach. So it's got to be good for running and walking on, and a really long beach for exercising. So my goal is to, and the beach just goes right into from where our unit will be and goes right into town, into Port Douglas. So my goal is to just, whenever I need to go into Port Douglas, I'll just walk there on the beach, provided there are no crocodiles, because there is a crocodile season. So, and yeah, be aware for those wanting to go to Port Douglas, there is a stinger season as well as there is here. There's a stinger season, but there is a net at Port Douglas that you can swim in. And you can also buy stinger suits. In Queensland, it is advised to wear stinger suits in the stinger season, or even when it's not stinger season, sometimes you can still get stingers. So, you know, you should wear a stinger suit always. My daughter has a stinger suit, I have to get a stinger suit. But yeah, the beach will be great for even just, I'll be happy just walking along the beach and running. So now I can, you know, get fit and healthy and be motivated to walk and run on the beach every day. So that's a goal. So yeah, so that's what's happening with me and my degree, moving to Port Douglas so I can save money so I can move to Japan next year. Applying for the JET program or the Altia program. Because they're the best programs to be in if you want to be an assistant learning teacher, assistant language teacher, not learning teacher, assistant language teacher. My daughter and I also, because I homeschool my daughter, we are both learning Japanese. She's learning Japanese as part of her homeschool, so we're both doing that. Hiragana, we're currently learning hiragana and katakana, a little bit of katakana, mostly hiragana. And then once we've sort of mastered that, well, we won't really 100% master it probably, but when we've grasped that, we will get into kanji. But we've been doing a little bit of kanji. It sort of pops up with the videos that we watch, with the lessons that we've been doing on YouTube. And I'll get her involved with getting a tutor. There's a tutor on this website. Can't remember the website name, but yeah, you get to look up teachers online that will teach you, and then there's people that aren't teachers that are just community members that speak Japanese that will converse with you so you can pick up the language better. But yeah, I'm gonna get my daughter get her an appointment with the specific teacher I picked out, a professional teacher that speaks Japanese, that is Japanese, and he's got a very unique way of teaching, which is using Minecraft, which Stella will love that, because she needs to have creative stimulation with her education, because that's one of the reasons why I pulled her out of school, primary school, and homeschooled her myself, because she is dyslexic and she needs creative stimulation in order to motivate her to learn. It helps her. I think it's the right side of the brain needs to be stimulated. Most people learn with the left. I might have the back to front, but most people learn with the left side of the brain, and dyslexics need to be stimulated with the right side of the brain with creative processes. And she loves games. So I think learning Japanese through Minecraft, that's fantastic. And that's such a creative idea that makes me attracted to that teacher, to get her an interview with him and learn with him. So I'll get her a few lessons with him and see what happens with that. Excuse me. So that's what's happening with that. Learning Japanese. What else can I talk about? I think I might need a drink of water actually. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of Chris Braun's Abroad in Japan's videos. I'm really inspired by that, and Dave Trippin. That's not his last name, it's just his YouTube vlog name. Dave Trippin, or his show name. Yeah, I want to actually have a good YouTube. Also, I want to get my movie finished. Moving to Port Douglas will also, because it'll allow me to save money, I can save $300 and pay for Premiere Pro, editing software which I used to have, and my subscription ran out, and I was editing my feature film Picnic with the editing software Premiere Pro, which I believe is the best one. It ran out, and I haven't been able to, because all my money's going to other things, I haven't been able to renew my subscription. So then when I move to Port Douglas, I'll have money to get a new subscription in Premiere Pro, and I can finish editing my movie. And I'm going to figure out a way. I did come across some software that improves the sound in your film. So I'm going to try and figure out how to improve the sound so that I don't have to do what's it called now? ADR. I thought I needed to do ADR and redo all the sound. I don't particularly want to have to do that because it means I have to get all the actors together. I think they will, but because they want to see the film finished, of course, but I don't think they'll be too keen about having to get together again and redo scenes for the sound to do ADR. I'm going to try, and if there's another way I can do it without having to do that with some sound software, then I will do that and improve the sound quality. So, there's ways around everything. If there's a problem, there's a solution. So I will try and do it that way, and I want to focus on finishing my film and release it. I'll probably release it on YouTube and maybe show it at the Barrier Reef Film Festival that they show at Magnetic Island. Or just maybe do festivals. But I want to try and do things independently. I don't want to have to reply. I think the future is changing film. It's all about online nowadays. I don't think you need to have an analog physical distributor, film distributor. I did speak to Hopscotch a few years ago about getting them to distribute it, and they were keen. They just wanted me to contact them when it was finished. You probably say they're keen to everyone that approaches them. I don't know, but I don't know. I want to try and do things independently and not have things in other people's hands if I can. I mean, the future of film is changing. That's what I researched in uni when I did screen studies. That the future of film is changing. The structure of releasing a film is different. The way people watch films is different. There's going to be a time where people don't worry about film distribution, having physical distribution. They just distribute it themselves and release it themselves. So I think that's the future of film. So I might just release it on YouTube and have people pay a fee to watch it on YouTube. Okay, that's maybe the way to go, rather than trying to physically go to cities and have premiere nights. I think a premiere on YouTube would be, better. You can reach more people. It's not physically convenient and financially convenient to try and go from city to city and have premieres and go to all of different film festivals, and that's kind of old school now. It's good to be in some film festivals and have some awards behind you. Just put that on your film that you've won so many awards, but it's not a necessity. I will probably put the film in a few different film festivals, maybe a couple that are local, maybe. Don't know. I'll get to that stage when I finish the film. I'll just edit it first, get it done, release it online. I think that's the way to go. And structure my film business again, get it registered, because it's unregistered now. And but when I finish the film, I'll register the company, because you got to keep when you register a business name, you have to keep paying for that name. Every year you have to pay money, and I'm not currently doing anything with it. So business closed, there's no website. You don't need a website anymore, just have a landing page for it through ClickFunnels, and advertise it on Facebook, and then bring people to my film that way. On YouTube, that's the way to go. So, and then that brings me to the next thing is, started with ClickFunnels. So, I'm going to be promoting ClickFunnels and as an affiliate. And ClickFunnels is good because you can have like a landing page, advertise that landing, have some sort of attraction, a video that will attract people, a free video to educate people on what you are selling or your service you're providing or whatever you want to promote. It doesn't matter what genre of business you're in, online or offline, or whether you're an affiliate, whether you're in network marketing, an MLM, whatever you want to call it, whether you're a hairdresser, whether you have a book, whether you have a film, whether you have a YouTube channel. You can advertise your business or whatever you're doing, whatever your project is, by having a landing page, have a video on the landing page, and get people to put their email in order to receive that video, or for more information. You advertise that landing page on Facebook or YouTube, so people can click on the ad. It brings them to the landing page. They put in their email for whatever you're offering, and with that email you can use to put them on your list to further give them more information about yourself, give them more videos, so it keeps you in contact with that person. You're now in a customer business relationship with that person then. Whereas if you have a website, a person comes to your website, you don't know who's come to your website, they've looked at whatever and gone again, and then you've lost that connection with that person. So, and they're probably never going to be seen again. So, but doing it with a landing page is different. You're connected. If you've got their email, it forms a relationship. Then you can continually sell to them, give them more information, not sell, but educate them about what you were doing, which leads to selling. So yeah, that's why that's good. So I'm in love with ClickFunnels. So I'm going to be using it myself for my own little projects and businesses. So that I'm starting. So, and that's made me want to be an affiliate to promote it to other people. So that's what I'll be doing. And that in turn will make me money. And there's also a competition on ClickFunnels where you only have to give away 100 books. So that's 100 potential customers to ClickFunnels, and that will enable you to get a free rental car. ClickFunnels will pay for the rent for whatever car you want for getting 100 new customers by offering ClickFunnels free book. So, and putting them through a funnel. You've got 100 potential customers that will buy other things. So see how that works. So it's great. I love the concept. I love everything about ClickFunnels. So I'll be promoting that. So that's another thing that I'm doing to make money and to help other people. So yeah, and there's a few future things I want to discuss with about my new business that I want to start, Independent Mum Success Club, that'll be helping single mums. There's going to be like a process that people go through, customers, when they go through my funnel, but I'll discuss when they go through the whole system and they're at the end. There's something I want to offer the independent mums as far as like travel goes. I've got a travel idea, but I'll talk about that at a later date, when it's happening, when I've got it all set up, when I've got the funnel set up. Where I'm at now with the funnel is I need to be able to, and that's another reason why I need to move to Port Douglas in order to save money, because I need money in order to continue setting up my own funnel, because I need a business email, and in order to get a business email I need to buy a website, pay for a website name, so which will be independentmumsuccessclub.com. So I need to pay for that, and to pay for my, registering my email, because you get the email address with the website. So not that I need the website, but I will use it for blogging or whatever. But I specifically need the email name to use in my funnel. So my funnel sort of come to a pause because setting it up completely, because I need that email address. So I need to be able to move to Port Douglas, save some money so that I can put it on paying for the website and the email address. Okay, so that's what's happening with my funnel. So yeah, that's everything. And I wish my throat wasn't so dry, because my voice really sounds like crap. But yeah, hopefully it's still articulate and you can understand what I'm saying. So yeah, that's everything. So yeah, I can't wait to move to Port Douglas, and I can't wait to move to Japan the next year. So it'll be good for both of us, Stella and I. So that's that. So I think I'm going to pause it here, stop it. I'm going to watch it and maybe redo this video, have a drink of water, or not. I might just post it anyway. But yeah, ideas for my YouTube blog, my YouTube channel. I want to try and do it in a TV show style format like Chris Broad. I do have media background, and that sort of appeals to me, rather than just have a vlog style that's all, that's in with the youth of today. I do want a drone, so I can it'd be really cool if I can walk up to one of the mountains here and just do some drone shots of, there's a walk through the national park called the Forts Walk, which is really beautiful, and it'd be cool to be up the top of the mountain and do a drone shot from there. I'm into that because I love photography, and that's another reason why I need to move, so I can buy some frigging professional photography gear and sound a microphone, right? I need that. I feel really, what's the word? I feel claustrophobic without, I feel restricted being a creative person and not having the tools in order to create. I need tools in order to create what I want, and I can't afford to buy an expensive camera, because I want a Canon Mark 3 or 2, so an EOS Mark 2 or 3. So I want an expensive professional camera. I want a drone. I want a good drone. I want underwater camera equipment. There's a really cool one that I watched on, you should watch Jorn Olsen. His YouTube blog I love. It's got really hip music and beach scenes and drone shots and lots of posing scenes and shots and stuff, which I won't be doing. I won't be doing that stuff. Mine will be more on not that style, and not Casey. What's his name? Casey. Oh, I forgot his last name. He's a really popular YouTuber in New York. I like his blogs too, but I want to go better. I want to do it in professional TV style, and more like Chris Broad style. I want to do it like that, but it'll be not copying off Chris Broad, of course. It'll be in my own style, but a TV style format, like a travel documentary that you'd see on TV, but it will be in Australian style, because he's sort of got Chris Broad is Chris Broad, tongue twister. Chris Broad is his style of his YouTube channel is in the style of a TV like documentary that you would see from a British person. Like the way he talks, the way he presents, and he's sort of got this real like sarcastic, like funny, humorous, but it's humorous. It's in the style of what you would see on Top Gear. The way those guys, the original Top Gear, not the new Top Gear, the original Top Gear. The way those three guys talk, and just the banter, and the way they mock everything, and they mock each other, and it's that sort of humour, which is really good. Like, it suits him. That's his style. And but I'm going to do it in my style, like a single mum from whatever that is, a single mum from Australia. It'll be in an Australian, probably more like Getaway, that sort of style, hopefully. Except I'm not as attractive as Katrina Roundtree. But you know what I mean? It'll be in my style. I'll find my own style as I'm doing it, probably. I'll sort of base it like Getaway, but a relaxed style of Getaway. It won't be a blog style like Casey Neistat. That's who I want to see. Casey Neistat. It won't be in that sort of style. It won't be in Jorn Olsen style. It'll be more swaying towards Chris Broad's style of TV show, but in my own unique way. I'll present it in my own unique way, and it'll be in the style of me. It'll be unique to me, right? And it'll be content that is aimed at people like me that are attracted to my channel. I'll be targeting like expats, especially when I move to Japan. It will be aimed at expats, or Gaysians they call it, who are, perhaps I might be the only one, but other, Gaysians, expats that are single mums, I might be the only one, so it might be a small target, which is good. I will attract that market all to me. Single mum Aussies that are Gaysian expats in Japan. How specific is that? That's going to be like fishing in a fish bowl that is only a few many fish, but I'll catch them all. It'll be like Pokemon, I'll catch them all. They'll be my viewers, but hopefully the viewers will range out of that spectrum, but that's who I'll be speaking to, right? When I do and maybe to people, Aussies that are, maybe I will inspire Aussie single mums that aren't in Japan to come to Japan and do it. If they don't have a partner, if they have children, they won't be put off by not speaking Japanese. They'll be shown the process I went through moving over there and trying to fit in and travel and work and be a mum, do all those things and enjoy Japan and enjoy the environment. They will be inspired by seeing me live it. So they might want to come over. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. But an idea I had from watching Aussie Awesome, his YouTube channel, I like, because in the middle of it he's got very humorous, he's got very humorous parts in the middle where he's talking about Japan, and then he'll cut. There'll be a section where he does something really funny. He's got like funny segments in the middle where he's doing something really stupid, but it's funny. And I've got an idea where I want to do commercial breaks in my YouTube channel. I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want people copying what I'm doing. But I'm open. I'm an open person. I'm just going to communicate what I'm doing. I want to have commercial breaks in my channel and do like a funny segment, and there'll be funny commercials that I'm in and my daughter's in, so that are sort of parody commercials. I watched like there are a lot of people that go on holidays to Japan, especially because my daughter and I will have different experiences to the bloggers that are currently in Japan, blogging about Japan. Because we're different people, I'm a mum and I have a daughter, we'll be doing things that suit us, like things that a mum and daughter will do. And we're very excited about going to Tokyo Disney. So we'll be blogging about Disney and going there a lot. That's the plan. And we want to go see the snow monkeys because that's something, I've been to Japan on a holiday for 2 weeks before. And one thing that I didn't do that I planned to do the last time was to go see the snow monkeys. So we want to go do that. So we'll be doing things like that for family orientated type stuff. Yeah. So there are a lot of YouTube bloggers blogging about Japan, but there aren't any specifically going to do what we are going to do. And so I did see one, like a blog about a YouTube blog from this young couple, and this is an example of something that I won't be doing. And I think it's something that Chris Broad touched on when he did a parody of, like, someone commented that he should be using drones and blogging like everyone else on YouTube, which is wrong. He's doing the right thing by sticking to what he uniquely does and does best. And his blogs are very professional. I think they're a lot better than most bloggers it's the best one, I think. In my opinion, he has the best blog about Japan. Not blog, it's a TV show on YouTube. It's very professionally done. And I aspire to be that quality. And then he has people commenting in the comments section saying that he should be doing it like everyone else, which is wrong. It's good to be unique and have your own style. So he mocked what they were saying by doing what they said and did he used blogs, he used time lapses, which is like completely stupid, which he was right. He's mocking it to sort of point that out, that it is stupid, just using time lapses in situations where it's not necessary, and using drones in situations where it's not necessary. And an example of that specifically is this blog that I saw where this girl was just walking around Japan, and it kind of got me to the point where I was angry and I just wanted to switch off the blog, because it was this young couple, and they're walking around Tokyo Disney, and this girl did this several times, right? She's walking around and she does this whole she's trying to be a model in her blog, and it did not make any sense, and it just had a shot of her multiple times as they did the same thing. They used the same shot but in different areas, where it's just a shot of her walking around in not even in any special area of, not in any specific spot of Tokyo Disney that should be filmed and is interesting. She was just walking past a wall or something, and she just spinning around constantly. I should do an example. Right, if you can see. And it was just her, and she just spin around. You can't see. Hang on. I'll show an example because it's really funny. She's walking, okay. She's walking and the photographer was behind her, so she's walking along, right, through Disney, and not in any interesting sort of area of Tokyo Disney, mind you. And it's just a shot of her back, and she's going in slow motion. And she did it several times and kept walking. And she's got a big smile on her face. And kept walking. And then again, then there's some different shots showed Tokyo Disney, and then a different spot, her again going. And I thought, oh my god, this is absolute shit. So I turned it off. So she did that, and it just baffled me. Why that shot? It's just so blatantly narcissistic, self-indulgent, because the person watching, how is that entertaining to the person watching? is watching in the back of her head spinning around and smiling like she's a model. And it just made no sense. Like, it makes sense in Yawn. I hope I'm saying it right. It's spelt John Olsen, but it's Yawn Olsen. His channel, his girlfriend, is actually a model. So it makes sense when she's posing, and she has her own YouTube blog where she blogs about fashion, right? So it makes sense for her to be posing in the shots and, you know, showing off her clothes and whatever. It makes sense for her to be doing that in Yawn's blogs, right? It did not make 1 ounce of sense for her to be doing it in this particular blog, because this blog was about Tokyo Disney, and that's what their channel was. It was them on holiday in Tokyo Disney. Okay? There was no indication this girl on their blog that she was a model or anything. She didn't look like a model. Like, she's a pretty girl, and what she was wearing, like, it was not worthy of showing in that, like that. Like, it wasn't showing off the fashion that she was wearing. She was just blatantly being narcissistic, right? Just showing off. And it was self-indulgent, and it was not necessary to the blog, and it just made them both look ridiculous. The editing was just like crap, because they were trying to be fancy with the editing, and it just made no sense to the blog. And then they put those cuts in with her doing the turns, and then it was cut to them talking about Tokyo Disney, and then it was just such utter, like, there was no thought put in to their blog about what the viewer will be thinking and why should they keep watching. Like, oh my god, like, my blog will not be like that. If that's a blog to learn from, it will be that. Like, I mean, I will learn from that blog and not do that. So that, what I'm trying to say is, that blog is a good blog that is an example of what not to do. Okay? And I will get inspiration from Yawn Olsen and his girlfriend's blog, Yarny. They got good blogs. It's good to pick things out from different inspiration from everything you see in life, really. Any sort of piece of art that you create, it's absolutely fine. It's hard not to be inspired by other pieces of work that you've seen. It's been done for eternity, to be inspired by other pieces of work. Not to copy them, but pick out bits and pieces, because your brain can't possibly shut out what you've seen and done in your life. So, and from other pieces of artwork. So of course you're going to be inspired by other things that you enjoy. Okay? So, and it's good to pick out, and it's expected to pick out pieces from other pieces of artwork, and to learn from pieces of artwork that are crap, that you don't want to aspire to be, or to aspire to have your work aspire to be like. Pieces that you don't want your work to, you don't, I can't even talk. That it's good to learn from pieces of work that you aspire your work not to be, right? So, yeah, that's how I feel. Whew, okay, so that's an hour long, and yeah, I'm just going to put this up. I'm not going to edit it. Don't have any editing software anyway, so I'm just going to put this up, and hopefully the next blog you'll see from me, I'll have some better camera equipment and some editing software. Okay, and I'll be in Port Douglas, so, or maybe I'll have some editing software and some gear before then, and I can or just buy a cheap camera and film some areas of Magnetic Island before I go. I would love to do that, even if I just buy a phone. Okay, I've gone a long time without a phone because I hate the mobile phone culture. When people are not living their lives, they got their head stuck in a frigging phone and they're living their life through a phone. I hate that. Okay, I think a camera is a different concept because you're looking through a lens and enjoying it. You're filming what you want to film, and then you put your camera away and live life. for a little while and talk to the people that are with you. It is so rude to be looking at a phone and we have other people around you and you're looking at a freaking phone, right? Or you're waiting for something, waiting for a bus or whatever. You're in a restaurant, you're looking at a freaking phone and you're not enjoying what's around you, not living life and looking at the scenery and talking to people around you, living through a frigging phone, playing games, doing whatever, talking, texting people that are not there. How is the person in the phone away from you from a distance, how are they more important than the person that is with you, that's sitting right next to you or across from you or around you? How is that person any different? How are they more important? Why is it so important to be contacting other people and not living your own life, right? I hate the mobile phone culture. I hate that people are so distracted by a phone and they can friggin' walk into a street and get hit by a car, texting or playing Pokemon Go, right? I hate the phone culture. I hate what it's made people become. So I just didn't get one. I'm not a sheep. I just don't want to do what everyone else. I've had a phone and then it broke and then I just didn't buy another one, and I haven't had a phone for years and I've survived, right? So I'm quite happy and content and I don't have to deal with drama, and I don't watch the news. I hardly watch television unless there's something really good on. I really enjoy Below Deck. I think that's a good show. I like the Big Bang. I look over and watch Big Bang Theory. Most of them that they're showing in Australia at the moment I've seen before. Sometimes I catch one that I haven't seen before, but mostly I've seen it before. My daughter loves watching it, and I'll just sort of glance over, and I'm usually sometimes on the computer and I'll glance over and look at and watch it. And I'll watch movies with Starla when movies come on TV. I'll sit next to her and watch a movie and watch Below Deck. And I really like $1 Million Listing. It's been off TV, so I haven't watched that for a long time, but there's new episodes now on TV of $1 Million Listing. So I've just caught some of that today. I didn't get to watch it, but yeah, I'll be watching that now. But yeah, other than that, it's only a couple of shows that I'm really keen on watching. And I do have my secret, indulgence is is Laguna Beach, Orange County, the Housewives of Orange County. I say I don't like drama, but I do enjoy watching the drama on the show. Sometimes I can't. Oh, okay, don't judge me. But and I just yell at the TV. There's a couple of them that are such bitches. Tamra and what's the other one? Oh, there's one that's a huge bitch. She just divorced her husband, and I sometimes just yell at the TV, and just because I'm confused by her, and her behaviour is just so obvious. Her behaviour, she can't even see her own behaviour, and she gets pointed out by other people, and she just shuts them out. She thinks they're all wrong, and she's the best. She doesn't learn from other people. Even her own daughter is pointing things out to her. And I'm confused by this, because I know my own faults, and I'm one of those people that are trying to always constantly improve. And there have been times where, people have been judgmental, and I've just thought, the hell with everyone else. But, then you reflect and you learn from that and try and improve yourself. And I just think that's very normal behaviour to do that, to learn where your faults are and try to improve them. And she just has no idea of her own faults, and even when they're obviously pointed out to her, and it comes up time and time again of what her fault, how she is so judgmental of other people. But then when they point her out, catch her out on things and point her out and say, hey, you're judging us on this, but then calling us a bad person for judging you on doing that exact same thing. It's just, she can't wrap her head around that, and she just thinks the hell with everyone and continues that behaviour, and it just gets her in trouble time and time again. And then she'll have a cry about it to herself, and just or to someone else, and she just can't comprehend what's going on, and to me it's just so obvious, I guess because I'm not in the situation, I'm watching it. But yeah, that's why I love, and it's just good because it's educational about human behavior and human psychology, the way people behave in different situations and how they lash out, the different things, and how the situation can be different. So that's what I learned from that. It's interesting to see how people react and how they behave in different situations. So yeah, that's one of my indulgences. And Below Deck, I love it. I love like reality TV. Some of it, it's not always good, but I love watching that. What else do I love? That's why I love YouTube, because it's so real. It's just real people living real lives, and it's just so raw, especially when it's unedited. But I really enjoy when it's professionally edited, and it removes all the crap, because it's the same with a director. I can't remember which director said it, but a director said about feature films that a good film is one that's well edited, and good editing is when you've cut out all the crap from all the boring stuff from daily life is cut out. That makes a good film, which makes sense. Like, you don't want to be, when you're watching a feature film, watch all the dull, boring, mediocre stuff that goes on in life. Really, you just want to watch the interesting stuff. So yeah, that being said, I think I'll end it there. And I look forward to seeing you in the next blog, TV show, whatever I'm going to call my channel. Sweet dreams, and see you in the next one. I'm going to get myself a catchphrase so I can say it at the end. Live life independently. That suits me and my channel and the business I want to start. Live life independently.